All right, here we are with the Renegade, Andrei Mikhailovich, middleweight New Zealand champion. Welcome along today, brother.
How are you going? You feeling all right?
You're feeling good, mate. Hey, how long overdue is this?
Yeah, it's taken a little while. I've known you for quite a while now. So 31st of October 2020, it should have been like done a year ago or so, but it's all good. We're here. We're live. It's all good, man.
I feel like some of our best chats too are sometimes the ones off camera, right?
100%. 100%. I think you can be a bit less PC when you're off camera, so
Hey,
yeah,
then
even my
saying that,
eyes on you. So.
we're going to be a bit on PC today. And first and foremost, I'm going to start a little bit untraditional. Usually I get tell me your background, that carry on, but we're just going to go straight to it. How much are you
Cool.
betting on yourself on the TAB next or in a couple of weeks?
Um, a lot of people have said to me, ah, is it going to be like KOs or what round or this and that? But to be honest, like, I'm going to bet myself. I might bet on myself, actually. I think it's kind of funny, but
A
I haven't
sneaky
really.
20,
I,
sneaky 40.
yeah, yeah, I think I'd bet more than. If when I bet, I don't bet a lot, but when I bet, it's usually quite big relative to me. But, um, yeah, I don't see why. I think it's more of just like, it's just funny, bro. I don't really take that whole TAB thing too seriously. I've never really been. I like betting on boxing, like I bet on the big fights and stuff like that. So I know I might bet on myself. I haven't thought about it, bro. It's not really the pressing issue, and that's just fucking is what it is, bro. And it doesn't really bother me. It's just as expected, bro. Like you get to a point where you're gonna be on TAB, and like I don't know. Some people bet on themselves, some people don't. I haven't really thought about it.
No,
I don't really care about it either, bro. Like at the end of the day, like it's fucking.
I did love the post. I did love the post. Now, look, just before we began before, you said you just did a few rounds with Bowen Morgan. What the heck? I mean, for you, it sounded so casual, but, Bowen Morgan, he's a bit of a legend as well. He's fighting Tim Tszyu in a few months' time or a few weeks. So how do those rounds go? And what's the sort of relationship like with you and Bowman?
But man, oh, he's cool, bro. He's really down to earth. He's a easygoing, solid. Like he's just such a classic, like Kiwi, humble dude. And now we got a solid. Well, we're all good. Like I think the sparring is definitely like business, bro. It's just two fighters, bro, needing to get the best out of each other, and that's what we do, bro. And we did 6 on Thursday, 6 on Friday, and 6 today. But I did an extra 4 last night. But it was just an all-out war. So that's all it is. That's all you can expect with Bond. I like to fight, and he likes to fight. We just go at it, and we swing at each other, man. And it's fun. It's brutal. It's hard, and your body's sore. And my body's sore now. It's my arms, my back, and neck, and everything's really sore. But it's just sparring at the end of the day, bro. And all we're doing is just trying to push each other to get the best work we can, and that's what we do, man. That's all it is.
What's the weight difference between you two for those watching?
I'm 71.7 or 8 at the moment, and he's about 73 or 74, so he's heavier than me at the moment. But that's because I think his fight's in December and mine's in November, and I'm 2 weeks out, so I'm not that much above my weight because I'm fighting at super welterweight for my next fight, so I'm not that far above.
I was going to say that too. I mean, you got 2 weeks to go. For you, when does the taper? When will the sparring sort of stop? Probably next week or even very
Yeah.
soon?
So this was my last like big heavy block of sparring, and it was with the right opponent because he's got a similar style to my mate Marcus, and yeah, we'll do one more set. I think maybe 8 or 6 rounds next Thursday. But everything now is really just like game plan orientated and technique and tactics. All the hard work's done, bro. I mean, my last fight was in July, and I haven't taken a break since. So I think I took like 2 days off like 2 weeks ago because I needed to recharge a little bit. Because when you go full tit like the gym does, there's like you need to have a bit of a break. So I had a couple of days off a couple of weeks ago, but just been pumping it, man, and feeling really good. And I was really happy with how it's going, man. So.
You just mentioned Marcus the Headache Hayward. Like you said, your mate. I'm sure he's not going to be your mate in a couple of weeks' time. But what are your thoughts on this guy? I mean, you're on the rise. You're a terror. You're smashed through the New Zealand division. He's jumped in from a kickboxing background, and he's not taking any easy ways out. What are your thoughts on this Marcus Headache Hayward?
I actually like Marcus as a person. We're like, me and him are actually all good. Like, he's cool and he's a daddy, bro. He's got a kid and stuff like that. I think it's a daughter, and he's actually I've known him for a little while, and he's really down to earth and he's easygoing and that. But when we hop in there with two warriors, bro, we're just gonna punch it out. And yeah, he's all good, bro. He's actually quite a nice guy, but at the end of the day, I'm a fighter, and he's a fighter too, bro. So come the weigh-in and fight night, we're not mates, but afterwards, I'm sure he'll want to have a drink or something. I'll have a fucking Coke Zero because I don't really drink. So,
and not that you look past to many of your opponents, but obviously you want to do the business and come away with the W. Many would think that in New Zealand, after this, you've taken on the best you can. Like, what's next, or are you thinking about the next one after this?
No, not really. Not really. I don't really. Bro, it's hard because it's all hypotheticals, bro. Because I only like to think about what's in stone, Like I could fucking say any name in New Zealand, but it wouldn't mean much because, there's not really any point because none of them are. No one's. I don't know. There's a few guys out there, I guess. I think I'd like to win another title in another weight class again. So that's probably my goal. But I don't know. I'm not really too bothered, bro. I've got to a point. I just want to fight, bro, and just be in the ring and just enjoy it, bro. This is what I love to do. And
so who are you signed with? Who are you signed with now, and who's going to take you to that next level after this? Who's putting all the matches together?
Who am I signed with? I'm signed with Dean, but Dean Lonergan, and that's great. He's he's a good guy. And Isaac's really done well managing my career, and I'm very lucky to have Isaac and Dean and his crew guide me and stuff like that. But I think next year I'll be fighting on his cards next year. But a lot of it is COVID depending because I was supposed to have my first fight under him this year, but shit went south with all the pandemic and stuff like that. But I maybe it was a good thing I didn't fight with him straight away because I've developed a lot over the last wee while, bro. There's all these little things I'm always going to be the aggressive come forward fighter, or or I can box for a whole fight. My style is quite broad. There's not necessarily one key thing that I do. I do a lot of things quite well. But everything is, I think it's been important because over the last year or so, I've just been refining certain aspects, and I get shit wrong all the time. We're sparring today, and Isaac and Boaz were asking me to do this thing, and I kept fucking it up or not doing it quite right, and it's all part of it, bro. It takes time to get all these little things down because I guess the best way to describe it, I guess with my personality and my style and who I am, it takes time for me to adjust to certain things or try certain things because, for instance, I'm not going to go into details about what we're working on.
No, that's fine. No, but I was going to ask that too, and you read my mind in terms of, COVID, and it comes up every interview you have. Now, some would look at it as a blessing, some would look at it a curse. Like you just said, you've been able to refine some things. Even, they call it the sweet science. It's not just jumping in and throwing leather. It's about refining the movement, your head movement, the way you throw the jab, etc. Now, with that, COVID's been shit and it's been frustrating. It's put a lot of things on hold. But do you feel it's helped you refine a few things and grow as a person?
I've gotten older, bro. I've gotten more mature. I've seen my son grow up and I've had to develop as a fighter, and I qualified for my apprenticeship in March or whenever. So I've had more responsibility at work, and and just with my boxing, bro, I've had to be a bit more accountable and just work on certain things, man. I think it's been really important for myself because at the end of the day, right now it's hard to gauge where I'm at because I'm sparring some really good guys on that, but it's hard because when I look at my record, I got some all right names on there. It's actually some really solid fighters on that, but I think my thing is I want to test myself on the Oceania world stage, so we have to work on things that are gonna not get me there but keep me there. As people say, it's easy to get somewhere, but keeping it is the hard part. And showing up to training every day and just constantly being reminded by Boaz to keep doing this one thing or that one thing, or try this or try that. But it's awesome because when with my training, it's pretty cool because I have Zach, Bobo, David, Jay, to all bounce ideas off, and all, whether it's like the mental game or like the physical game, like, you know, like there's certain things we're always just working on, and a lot like training is not just we go to the fucking gym and we punch each other the bits and then we go for a run. It's like there's a lot of like technique and tactics we go over all the time, and you know, and then this is probably the best thing about Isaac is a great listener, and that's what you want to be when you're a trainer. Is like he listens to my concerns, or he listens to like how I'm feeling, or like what's working, what's not working, and he'll talk to me about why it may not be working, and I'll talk to him about why I think it's not working, and you know, two heads are better than one. So, or fucking in my case, like five. Like, you know, and Cess is also really awesome to work with. Cess is my new corner man, big Cess, and he's getting really good. So everything's pretty cool, man.
No, you just reminded me too, man. You've got such an amazing team behind you, and I see, you know, we see Peach around a lot. He's probably one of the busiest boxing trainers I know. Boas as well. Did you go down to Taupo for the Golden Gloves? Were you watching from here?
I watched from here. I logistically with my missus and my son, bro, it would have been like a bit of a mission just going there for a few days and then coming back. So I was like, we thought about it, but like, nah, I support it. I always go in spirit with them anyway. And I watched it and I watched the fights, and you know, it was all good, bro. I enjoyed it. I was really proud of Jerome, you know, to step up and fight David. You know, Nika is a pretty big ask, and you know, he rose to the challenge, and you know, he showed what balls he has, and that he's a fucking on-tour fighter, man. And you know, Jerome, someone I
how crazy was that?
Oh, that was a great fight, man. You know, the Jay's world class. Like, Jay is a world class fighter. Like, and I think when Jay turns pro, I think that's when you're gonna really see the best from him. I think right now I feel like I'm the same as him. I'm just an apprentice when it comes to my boxing, bro, and so is he. We're just both fucking learning and opening up like new things with boxing, and yeah, we're just learning. Like, I'm like 12-0, and I'm going alright and shit like that, and you can say I am the middleweight champ, but like, there's not really any point, because like at the end of the day, what am I going for? And what I'm going for is a world stage and fighting the big fights, man, and stadiums and shit. Like, all of this stuff is just, well, to me, I'm just viewing it as my apprenticeship, and I'm learning and developing, and you know, and sometimes I do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, but you know, I got to get checks about it, and I get pulled back into place, or like if I don't feel happy about something, I correct it, and just all of it's learning, bro. That's how it is, man.
That's a perfect segue into my next sort of question or observation. Is that, you know, when you first started this pro debut record, you were an absolute terror. You know, you were creating so much hype. You were crazy on the mic. I feel like you've I don't want to say toned it down, but you've gone a little bit quieter since then. I mean, is this you maturing, or are we ever going to see that old crazy self again? Are you going to bring that back out?
Bro, like, I never got to do that as an amateur, and how do you explain it? Like, I have like a goal of like a list of shit I want to do with my career, and the big word that I always use is be authentic, and talking shit is not necessarily authentic, and you may think it like sells tickets, but it doesn't. It actually just makes you seem like a bit of a prick. So I think, look, there's a time and a place for everything, bro. If I'm probably like not as loud and as fucking arrogant as I once was, but that's just, I think that's just like through me finding myself, and you know, over the last 6 months, I've really like kind of found out who I am, and you know, I'm all about respect, bro. And I think it's important to respect your opponent before and after the fight, but in the fight, bro, I'm a fucking animal. You know,
that's true.
Because when in the fight, bro, I'm there to fucking win, bro, and I don't really give a shit. But like, there's no point in me saying someone's a bitch or someone's a this or someone's a that, because like, there's, you know, me and Isaac talked about it quite a lot, about like, you know, and it's the way it makes me feel. Like, when I say shit like that, I don't really mean it. I'm just, you know, and it doesn't really sit easy with me. And like, but I don't know, if someone fucking provoked me enough, I might do it. But like, bro, it's all about being authentic, and people can see through bullshit. So I'm just gonna fucking be me, and I think people like me for who I am, not who I'm not. So I don't know.
Someone asked me once who my favourite person was to commentate with, and one time when you jumped on the mic, I thought that was quite comical and entertaining. Plus, you know, your eye for the sport and the boxing. A couple of weeks ago, we saw you at the fight night, and I did want you to jump on, but you didn't. Were you just wanting to watch the fights? Were you sick of hearing my voice?
No. It's got nothing to do with that. The reason I didn't want to commentate on the Peach Boxing Show was because bro, it's not about me all the time. It's not. Like, and as soon as I get on the mic, I make it about myself. And I will make it about myself because that's the kind of person I am. It's not about me, bro. Like, that night was about the fucking, a few of the fellas and girls in the gym were turning pro, and like some people had really big fights and big moments. And if, for me to hop on the mic and just be a twat, or like, not be a twat, but just talk about myself, or, you know, hear my own voice, it's not about me, bro. It's about the other guys in the gym too. And, you know, when it's their time to shine, I support them. And when it's my time to shine, I hope they support me. So that's how it is, bro, I think. But
Speaking of you,
I think down the line, I'll definitely get into commentary. But right now, bro, like, as, you know, I just wanted to be there to support, and I just wanted to enjoy the fights, bro. And that was pretty good. It was a great night. It was a good turnout.
speaking of your time to shine too, I feel, you know, I see some of the videos coming out with you recently in it wasn't the Opera House. It was a big stage. I mean, who's doing all this stuff? And come on, you got to admit, you're loving that a bit. When that stuff comes out, it's pretty electric.
That was at the Sky City Theatre. Look at my arms, bro. I'm just sorry. Yeah, that was at the Sky City Theatre. Eh? That's where I'm fighting. Because I was doing a venue visit because I felt like I asked someone to, and I was like, yeah, why not? And I went down and got one of my photographers, if you want to call it that, or videographers, I got him to come with me. And I like premeditated that whole shot, bro. Like, I'd thought about, because I knew he was coming, I was like, there's a certain shot I want you to catch, and this is exactly how I want you to do it. And then he filmed it, and then I knew exactly what music I wanted behind it. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. It was quite a good reception, so should be a fucking director and producer.
I see Monty Beethan gives you a shout out now and then, and you talk to him. What's your relationship like with old Monty?
Monty, he's cool, man. He's after the Parker undercard in Christchurch, he said some real nice things about me and said I was gonna go and do places, and he's ever since then, and we developed a relationship, and he's always been really cool, and like we've always had a good solid relationship. And he's one of those fellas that if I need advice or an opinion, or, you know, just someone else outside of the box that's not in my main circle, he's just one of those fellas I can talk to. And I'm lucky to have a relationship like that with someone like that. You know, he's a legend in New Zealand, so it's pretty cool.
No, he's good. Not a bad boxer. Have you ever jumped and done a few rounds of old Monty?
I have, actually, but that's
Oh no! How did that go? I didn't know he still sparred. Does he still jump and
we're just playing, bro. I think we did like 10 2-minute rounds. We're just playing, bro, and hanging out. But it was more, I think what it was really was just I think it's how fighters play, and we're just playing around and hanging out, and it was more, the sparring was like just fun. It was just two mates just hanging out and not taking it too seriously or anything, bro, just having a bit of banter and that. And then it was not really the sparring that was important about the day. It was a conversation we had after, and I was just expressing about this and that, and he just told me, bro, just focus on your boxing and just focus on being you, and everything will be all right. But he's a lovely dude, and he's so easy and so down to earth, man. And like, you would think with someone like that in his stature, bro, it would be hard to not be arrogant, but like, he's so far from it. He just, look, bro, if you look at Monty, bro, all he's trying to do is just push people to be better, man. And, you know, hopefully I can go down that road one day too. But right now, it's not my place to do that. I'm not really here to be a teacher. I'm here to just do my own shit. And maybe one day when I have enough wisdom under me, I'll do that. But not right now.
You said like everything's quite situational, obviously due to that pandemic. Do you, like, you know, you're speaking...
Some fucking ASMR, bro. Do you know what ASMR is?
Say again?
My mic. ASMR, bro. I'm 18, bro. My missus will love this shit. She'll be like, oh my God, he's eating on camera.
Someone said that to me the other day about people eating on camera and getting all these views and whatnot. Yeah,
Where's the fucking mic? Where's the mic? Hold up. Is there a mic? Where's the mic? Anyway, who gives a shit? What were you saying?
So you know how you went through the amateur ranks, you got your NZ title. I feel like we're so at the beginning of your career. Like, obviously you won a world title. Do you visualize everything? Do you write things down? You know, you talk to like the likes of Israel Adesanya. He said he visualizes everything. When he got that title, he'd already seen it. When you got the New Zealand title, was that normal for you? Were you like, yeah, this is just one of my goals?
I think the first thought in my head was when I got it, I was like, if I can win this, I can win anything. You know, that was because I never won any titles in the amateur, and I was always worried about, oh, fuck, if I get to that moment, will I be able to fucking pull it off? And I did. So I was just like happy that I actually won a title. I was like, thank fuck, I'm the middleweight champ. I was like, but I have goals, but like my goals are not my goals are like, what's the word? It's not just boxing, bro, because like boxing is an aspect of my life, but then, you know, developing certain relationships or like maintaining certain relationships is a part of my life. Money is a part of my life. My son, my partner is all part of my life. So like, I don't ever just look at it as like boxing is like the complete one and only goal. But everything has its like, how do I explain? Like everything is like has its part, you know, because um yeah, it's hard to explain, bro. But like, yeah, I have goals, but no, it's not all just boxing is probably at the top of that list in terms of like what I want to do and stuff like that. But like, it's almost like the pyramid. Like, you know, you got to have all your foundations correct and all that. But in terms of like my boxing goals, like, yeah, I've got heaps of boxing goals. But like, it's not like, oh, I want to win the Oceania title. Oh, I want to win the world title. Nah, it's more like, bro, like, I want to learn to control the center of the ring and fucking when someone pulls in on me, just stand my ground and blah blah blah. If I can look at my basics, bro, my bread and butter, bro, everything else will fall into place, bro. Like I already feel like I'm going to be a world champion one day, or what is this sort of champion, a fucking premium Madonna fucking champion. I don't even know what the fuck, you know, there's too many titles, but like the championship will all come, bro. But like, that's such a big, like thing, just say, oh, world champion it's a day by day process, bro. And sometimes it's even as little as your goal today is just to show up to training when you're not feeling the best. So you can't just look at these big ass fucking things, bro, and be like, that's what I'm doing, because you just don't know.
And saying that too, you know, I've been speaking to a lot of people about, you know, mental health, etc. And I just had Richie Hardcore on last week, and one of the big questions was, how do you yourself deal with the trolls, the haters? Do you just throw it in the bin, decompartmentalize it? Do you confront them? What do you do when people are trying to bring you down or troll you?
Troll me? To hate me that much? No, I don't really know, bro.
So you don't get any of it. You don't care.
Nah, to be honest, bro, I don't really care, because first things first, bro, is like no one's really ever said anything to my face, and if they do, bro, it's like, well, thanks. It doesn't matter, bro, because like the main people that matter in my life are the only people in my circle, like obviously my fucking partner, my son, my parents, my brother, my sister, my best mate, Isaac Boaz, Jay, the other Jay and the other Jay, fucking Jordan, even like it's only, and Nick as well. Like the only people that are in my circle, bro, are the ones that I really give a shit about their opinion. Everybody else, bro, like it doesn't like bother me that much. Like who is some prick with a username called RJ4258 fucking going, oh, Andrei's trash? Like, first of all, bro, like, it doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't even know, like, first of all, he's being anonymous by saying that, so you're a bitch. Second of all, it doesn't bother me, bro. Like, what? And the funny thing is, bro, no one has ever said to my face, bro, that, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's, like, fucking pretty cool to me, to my face.
I think
Even if I was to walk out of my fucking, okay, if I was at work, right, and people told me at work, you're blah, 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 you're the best, you're this or that, right? And I walked away out of the room, and as soon as I left the room, they talked shit, bro. You know what happens, bro? I'm fucking taking their headspace. They're thinking about me. I'm not thinking about them, bro. I don't even think about anybody else. I have a few people I worry about, but like, if you want to talk shit, great, bro. I'm in your head. It keeps me relevant. You're mentioning my name, so fuck you.
You make a good point, though. You make a good point there. It's about, you know, everything affects people in different ways. You know, you got some huge sports stars that get kind of taken down.
I will walk into the BP, bro. So I walk into the BP with my top off and not care, bro. I have my music on, I don't care. Like, I don't care about people's opinions, bro, because I know who I am as a person. I know who I am. I back myself. I believe in myself. I don't need to be justified by anyone. I don't need anyone to tell me that you're doing this or that, because I know at the end of the day how hard I work and the shit I put into myself, bro. The thing is, bro, I'm not faking this bullshit, bro. None of this is fake, bro. It's funny, bro, but it's not fake. And yeah, I can clown around and do whatever, but it's not fake, bro. And if I was faking it, I'd probably be like, oh, Isaac, is it okay? Like, oh, it's savage. Are we? Do you reckon I'm going to? I don't need to justify myself for anyone. I justify myself for myself. Don't need anyone.
You know, you made a good point too, though. You keep that friend circle tight, and the people that matter to you are in your circle, and those that are outside it, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Now, one thing I did want to say though is that, you know, I've seen lead ups to events and people, you know, whisper this and that, but then I've seen you warming up, right? And when you warm up or when you go into the ring, you just look like you are ready to kill. You're like literally a a kind of like a Russian Mike Tyson. Is that the mentality? You've said to me, I think before, you would go till the death. Is that your mentality when you go in? You are just going to finish this guy hands down.
Yeah, man, it's a fight, bro. 100%. Like, if you're not thinking in that changing room that you need to fucking kill or be killed, bro, like I think you're in the wrong sport. I love it, bro. Like I hop in the changing room, and when I really switch on, bro, and fucking Andrei Mikhailovich fucking comes out to play, bro. Like, my big thing with me, bro, is I love a big audience, bro. I love to put on a show. I love all of that shit, bro. So all of that, bro, is all a part of it, bro. I love to put on a show, man. You know, it's really important to me, bro. It's fucking, this is my life, bro. This is what I want to do, bro. So when I'm in that ring, I think what you're seeing through my eyes or whatever, it's just passion, bro. It's just pure passion and like love for what I'm doing, bro. And, you know, and I'm just ready to throw down. I think my last fight wasn't probably my best fight against Dylan, who me and him actually mates, but wasn't my best fight, bro. But like, you know, I had been out of the ring out of the year, bro, and like the promotion wasn't necessarily that good, and I was frustrated because, you know, I thought like this year was my year to be over in Australia making some proper dosh and stuff like that, but it wasn't meant to be. So, you know, I just had to suck it up, and I had to have a pretty like robust conversation with Isaac about how I performed and stuff like that. And you know, we talked about it, and the big thing is like you're not just doing it, you're not just training, because in the training camp I was just feeling like I feel like a bit unmotivated in that. And he's like, when you show up the training, you got to think about the bigger picture. It's not just about the fight in front of you. So, you know, I needed a bit of a attitude change, and I did that, and it's all good. So, you know, it's all part of it, bro. Like I've said, bro, I'm learning and I'm developing, bro, and I'm still young, bro, and relatively inexperienced, and I'm learning along the way, bro. Like, so it's all part of it, man. Yeah.
Does having a son, or having, you know, the whole him being born and him, you know, having another person that you're responsible in your life, did that change your outlook? Like, how are you now compared to before you had a son in terms of your outlook on life?
I'm not as reckless. Nah, fuck no, I'm not reckless anymore. But that's not just with training or fighting. That's with everything, bro. I like think about, for instance, if someone's gonna throw a house party, bro, I'm most likely not gonna go. Or if someone wants to go to town, I'm most likely not gonna go, just because, you know, it's unfamiliar territory, bro, and I don't like, if I'm going out to like, and the other thing is I don't drink and I don't smoke, so it makes it, first of all, that's hard. First of all, trying to socialize when you're not doing that, but it just, you know, having a son just makes me, well, first of all, I was already focused before I had a son, but it just gives you like another added focus, and, you know, and you just want him to be proud of you one day and be proud of your legacy and be proud of his daddy and shit. But at the end of the day, bro, like when it comes to like training and all that, I do it for myself first and foremost. You know, I do it because I want to do it. I don't hop in the ring and go for Tarantino or for my missus or whoever, right? I go, I'm doing this because I want to do it. Like, I don't have to do this shit. I want to be in there. So I put myself first. And then if I'm going good, like I told this once, if you're going good, your family's going good. So sort of like works like that. But, you know, obviously my son has a massive impact on my life. And when I'm not being Andrei Mikhailovich, bro, I'm just a real like fucking down to earth dad. So down to earth, and I just love being around my family, and I love like cooking stuff with my missus and watching movies and like playing with my drones and taking Taryn out for walkies, bro, and, you know, and hanging out with my brother. So, you know, like, bro, like, to be honest, there's a lot of shit like, like, you know, I'm a pretty real person, bro, but like, I'm not gonna be fucking fired up 24/7, bro. When I'm at home, bro, I'm pretty quiet, bro. I'm opinionated, very opinionated, but I'm quiet because that's just who I am.
If your son wanted to box, would you be in support of that? He's going to grow up watching you become a world champ, so he might be inspired to do the same thing.
I told him the first words he heard from any human being ever was, "Hey Tarantino, you're going to be a boxer." And you know he said that? Me, you motherfuckers. I said that, and that was cool, man. But that whole thing was a massive trip out. Like, I tell you what, bro, you get a baby and it's delivered, bro, and you take that baby home, it's pretty fucking life changing. Like,
hey, if you don't mind going into it, you're Russian Kiwi. Your partner is somewhere in the Pacific Islands.
She's from Vanuatu.
Okay, so your son is half Russian and half.
No,
Vanuatu.
He's Russian, Tuvaluan.
Tuvaluan.
Russian, Tuvaluan, Vanuatu. I forgot to ask her, but she's a cocktail of like different races, bro. She's got like Jamaican in her. I think some sort of African. She's got even like a tiny bit of Chinese in her as well. So she's a cocktail, bro, of like lots of different people. So he's half Russian, half every other country in the world.
That's awesome. And would it be a dream too? Because I know you've gone over to the Pacific Islands, but at some stage to take your son over to Russia, Petersburg?
Probably not Russia. Probably not Russia, bro. I'd definitely live in Vanuatu, and that's what I think my end goal would be, to live there and fly airplanes around and all that shit. But I think I'm not like, yeah, I'm Russian, and that's my heritage in that. But I think the whole Russian thing's like a bit of like, that's like a pilgrimage I think I'll do when I'm a bit older and stuff like that. And there's a lot of unanswered questions there, but it's not really, it's, I don't know. Look, the thing is with Russia and that is like, that's personal to me. My son has a great nana and granddad, like my parents that adopted me have done a great job with me, and they're doing an amazing job with me, my son, sorry. So the whole Russian thing, that's more personal, I think. So it's not, it's different, I think.
So what's the fighting, right? We talk about, obviously you're training hard, you're looking after your body. Do you look at it as a, separate component? So do you have a nutritionist? Do you have a strength and conditioning coach? Do you have a mind coach? What areas do you focus on?
I got every kind of. I got a nutritionist, Jordan Earl. He's awesome, bro. Instagram, Jordan Earl Fitness. I think that's what his thing is. He's cool, man. Me and him are all good. He's sorted me out with a good diet, which I'm actually not following right now.
I was just about to say, what are you eating now? Because sometimes we ask fighters, what are you going to eat after the fight? But it looks like you're snacking on everything.
Nah, I've actually been very, very... I've been very, very strict. There we go. See, we crackers.
Yeah, there's not too many carbs in those.
No, I'm generally really, really strict with my diet, and that diet is like half a cup of porridge and coffee, black coffee, and then chicken and rice, and then I have granola and Greek yogurt, and then I have a steak, some avocado for tea, and I've got like the whole diet thing worked out, and I'm really strict with that, and I've lost my weight quite healthy with that, so I'm happy with that. But just for the moment, bro, I'm just having a few crackers, bro, because, bro, like, I've been fucking to hell and back today, so. But, strength and conditioning, like, that's really done in-house with Isaac and Boaz and Cess. But on certain days, we do, like, a fucking 12-round circuit of, like, the most killer fucking exercises ever. And Cess plays a big part in that. But I think my training team is Cess, Boaz, and Isaac. And, their three heads come together, and and Alina. Isaac's wife, Alina, definitely takes some of those trainings as well, so I can't forget her. All of their training is, like, really impressive and important. But it's cool, man, because, like, if something's not feeling quite right at training, or, like, if we're doing something and I'm not 100% confident that, it's like, for instance, the good thing about Cess is he hasn't got an ego when it comes to training. Like, I think we're doing his strength, and I was lifting weights or something, and I said, oh, look, bro, I don't really want to lift weights because I'm going down in a weight class, and I don't really want to have to, like, I think there's a time and a place for weights, but, I think I was like, if we can do more body weight exercises, and then he switched it up hard out, he was cool, man. So I think the big thing about training is not having an ego when you train, and just being honest with how you're feeling and that, And Isaac's great like that as well, because if I say to Isaac, bro, I'm really feeling under the weather, he's cool, man. Isaac is fair but firm, He can smell. He can smell if you've been a bitch or not. So he's called me out a few times. So
he's almost like a extreme Tony Robbins, because with him, like you said, he's firm but fair, and he's probably one of the he looks intimidating, but when you get to know him, he's just a downright awesome dude.
I'm still scared of him.
Yeah, I know. He does. I was actually thinking that when I was...
It's important that, like, I have me and Isaac have outside of boxing, we have a solid relationship. Like, he's very much like a big brother to me. He's not old enough to be a fucking father figure. And I don't think he'd like me saying that because, he'll say he's still quite young and whatever. But it's definitely like a big brother to me. But I think when I'm at training, like, I think it's actually like a healthy, like, respect/fear for him, because I listen to him. I've never really listened to coaches before, and I don't know why I didn't. But when I met him, like, every time he's told me to do something, I did it. I always always on time to training. If I'm going to be 2 minutes late, I text him straight away. If he rings me, I pick up straight away. And I think it's important because it keeps me on my toes, man. And, it's important. I think, but that's a relationship I want to have with Isaac. But then it's funny because with Boaz is more soft, not necessarily softer, but me and him are more inclined to talk about how I'm feeling or like certain things I'm feeling. And so it's just, they all have different aspects, bro. And, and then like Cess is great when it comes to like work or like how I'm feeling about work. And Alina's great when it comes to the kids. And everybody, and then it even goes on because then I got Jay and David and Dominic and Aaron and fucking everybody. Like it's like a big, like we're just a big fan. Like I think I hate it when people say family because I think it's such a cliche, but we are just like a big community that just comes together. We work together. We all know each other. We've all seen each other cry, bleed, and fucking sweat. So like, it gets pretty personal, bro. Some of the things we touch on, and it's important. We've got good relationships. That's a big part of our training, bro.
Is there anyone outside of that circle you talk to as well? Like someone that you can just split it up?
Yeah, 100%. My wife, definitely, like, I talk to her about, she knows me fucking better than anybody. Like, she knows she can look at me and know how I'm feeling. But, and me and her have a fucking crack-up relationship and a great relationship. And I'm really lucky to have her because she understands me and I understand her. But the other person I definitely talk to is my best friend, Titan. Titan's like me, man, real driven, really like onto it, but Titan's very, very, very smart. And Titan definitely has his role. But he lives in Australia now, but we always talk like every other day or pretty much every day we talk. So he's definitely got a big part in my life. So yeah, if my twin's very much into his religion and that. So we have a few arguments about that from time to time, but it's quite good. It's just love, bro. It's all of it's just love. So.
And if you, even though you're so relatively young, you seem so mature at times. Have you had people reach out to you and say, hey, you're doing so good. How do I get to where you are? And what advice have you given to them? Or does that happen from time to time?
It happens all the time, bro. It's a tricky one there. It's a real tricky one because how do I explain this? Like a lot of people reach out to me and talk to me and like say this and that and say this and that. But I can't, how do I explain it? It's tricky for me when people reach out and say this and that because I'm not going to bullshit and say, yeah, I have time for you because like I barely have time to fucking see my son at the end of the day. Okay. So when someone reaches out and says this and that, I'll say, thank you very much. And I appreciate it. But like that's pretty much as far as the relationship goes because it's too hard for me to maintain. Like, bro, I fucking only know like 7, 8 people in my life really well. Like, everyone else outside of that bubble, bro, like, it's hit or miss whether you're gonna even get to me, bro. Like, because and that's not even being a dick, bro. It's just because I need to I sort of have to prioritize. And if I get too caught up in who's like fucking kissing up to me or whatever, or being like, no, I shouldn't say kissing up, but being supportive in that, it gets kind of hard because like that's when everyone's saying that, oh, you're my inspiration or you're doing this, you're doing amazing, just blah blah blah. It's if you read too much into that, bro, you'll start believing it. And I always want to believe like that I'm the worst fighter in the country. Like I always feel like for instance, my attitude when I walk into the gym is I always think I'm the worst fighter in the gym. And that's the truth. That's the cold stone fucking truth is I'm always like, fuck, I'm the unfittest, I'm the worst. And I always go on feeling like that. And that just means I just got to push more, man. So that's what I try and do.
You've seen it too, because the great thing about you, Andre, is that you've started off in the amateur ranks and you got a taste of Sky Sport television, and you became the centre of attention. Overnight, within a couple of years, everyone kind of knew who you were, but you were just still you, and that would have been quite overwhelming in a sense, right? Because I think we talked about it earlier in the day that people that didn't talk to you prior were starting to kiss ass and come up to you and be like, "Oh, you're the man," but before that, they didn't say that,
Right. There was a time when Vodafone didn't even fucking text me back. It's the truth, man. Straight up, when I was like fucking 15, 16, no one gave a fuck about who I was. It's funny how my life has done like a fucking 180 on me, and people are real kind to me now, and like, more willing to talk to me and all that. But I appreciate it. There are some people that I know, that have messaged me. I'm just like, what cunt, like, because I remember certain things they've said or how they made me feel. But It's all love, bro. I try to
I
be
guess,
as
I guess too, though,
love
from me looking on the outside in, the more fame, the higher the ladder you go, the more you're going to have to deal with it. And I guess too, if you've got a good mental mindset for it now, it's going to help you for future, especially when you're traveling around the world and
To be
getting
honest,
bigger,
like
bigger
I, could,
titles.
I feel like I could be the most famous man in the world, which I doubt that would ever happen. But I'm allowed to dream. But like, I would not change, bro. I'd like, yeah, like it'd be cool to have fucking people people recognize me as it is, bro. Like I drive around and people like fucking peep at me and like say, "Oh, you're the middleweight champ," and I'm like, what the fuck?
Where's the belt? Because I know a lot of fighters that when they win a title, it just goes with them everywhere. They take it to
My
the
belt.
beat. Where is it?
It was in my closet for a while, bro. It's not really like a big deal to me. Like I was out in the cat. I think it's out in the lounge at the moment. But one day, and it's only out and about because I had to take it somewhere. But I don't really like fucking froth over it, bro. It's like just about at the end of the day, bro. It's like it's cool to look at it and go, oh yeah, I did that. It's cool, but like, to be honest, sometimes it's just a paperweight. People put their clothes underneath it, bro, and it's a bit like it is what it is.
Yeah,
Bro.
but one thing, okay, and it's good to have that mindset, but you've got to remember too, the belt and whatever belt it is, whether it be UFC or heavyweight championship of the world, that belt entitles and opens up more opportunities. It's more bigger paydays, right? And that's just a stepping stone for you, right?
No, it's a stepping stone, but it's not, bro. New Zealand professional boxing is a little bit flawed, bro. Because like you can have like, I don't want to be a dick, but like you can have like guys that are fairly average fight for a title, bro, and you gotta look at it and you're a bit like, well, where's the integrity on these titles, bro? But I think the best thing to do, bro, I think it's fairly unanimous who the best in the divisions are, in the pros and the amateurs. Like people know, like and cruiserweight in New Zealand, right? You got David Light, people know that. And you got Joe Parker heavyweight. Not really too sure about the light heavyweight, but I know Moose at super middleweight. Who's going up to cruiserweight to fight Dave. Me at middleweight. Bowen at welterweight. I think super welterweight's a little bit up for grabs at the moment, so it'd be cool to get my name in there. Welterweight's thing. A light welterweight's a little bit up for grabs. I think Nort probably is that. Yeah, Nort probably, yeah.
Yep.
But that's a pretty good division, that light welterweight division in New Zealand, because you got Korero, Richie, and Korero, Richie, and Nort. And those three fights, man. Those three fighters, bro. I know Richie, and we have a pretty fucking solid relationship when I see him, and I know Korero as well. He's a fucking really cool guy as well, and not so much, but like we've fucking talked to each other before, and we're all good.
So is that the weight class you'd go down to next? That if you wanted, sorry, no, that's too light for you. You'd go. What weight are you now? Middleweight, so you'd go up, or you wouldn't go down, would you?
So I'm going to light middleweight, and then after light middleweight, I don't want to say like a hell of a lot at the moment because I need to just focus on this fight. But you can be a double weight champ, and then after we're going to talk about opponents in this fight.
I do want to mention though, Francis Waitai just fought Chase Hellboy Haley, right? You've fought both.
Have I fought Francis?
No, have you fought Francis yet?
No, I haven't fought Francis.
Oh, but he just beat Chase, so you went in. You've obviously done rounds with. You beat Chase. Would you like to fight Francis?
No, I think that's a fight that'll definitely happen one day. 100%. It's just timing, bro, and if we can make it work in there, I think it's a good fight. I think it's an interesting fight. I think he's like fairly similar height in me and all that. That'll be cool. But if it happens, it happens, bro. Like anyone from light heavyweight fucking to light middleweight, bro, I'll fight. I won't even bat an eye, bro. I'm like all good, bro. I've messaged certain fighters in this country, bro, and they know exactly who they are. I've messaged them, and they know who they are.
Who's that guy down in Dunedin? Sweet Hands. What happened with you guys? You guys were calling each other out. What's his name? Sweet Hands.
You guys are the one that fucking hyped that up. I had nothing to do with that, bro.
You called him some sort of. What did you call him online?
I was 2 years ago. I'm not going to even go into that because I haven't heard about him, and he's not even reached out to my guys, bro. And I'm pretty sure my guys reached out to him like 2 years ago to say we'll fight him, and they said no. So like, I'm not even going to talk about him, bro. He's irrelevant to me, bro. Who is he? Who is he?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know where he is.
You tell her that name to anybody in this fucking boxing scene, they'll be like, "Oh, who's that?"
I
Nobody
remember
knows.
you said something about him. We probably won't go into it now, but what also too, you talked about Mose. Remember when you did have that exhibition a few years back or a couple of years ago now? You were going pretty hard. What are your thoughts on that whole fight?
With what? Muslim Dave?
No, when you guys had that exhibition. We'll go into Dave next.
Oh, that was just an exhibition for 4 rounds. I don't think much of it.
Okay.
It was warming me up for my because I was supposed to fight Gunner 2 weeks later. And this was more like just getting the ring in front of people, and that was it. It wasn't. Me and Mus have sparred like over 200 rounds together, out in Papatoe and even at pitch boxing. He's a good friend and he's a good fighter, man, and like and it's a good fight, him and Dave. But I didn't think much of it. It's just an exhibition, bro, with headgear and big gloves, and it's just
so you weren't going all out. You went, wow, like you said, exhibition. You weren't trying to go as hard as you could. Were you not unleashing maybe 90, 80% power?
Oh, it's definitely it's going to be full on because I think he was 20 kilos heavier than me when we did the exhibition. So yeah, it's going to be hard because he's a bit bigger than me. So yeah, it was just it's just an exhibition, bro. Like it's like sparring. Like if you go fucking too hard, you look like there's a time and a place for everything. And for that night, we're mates, bro. And I do like Moz. We're just fucking throwing some hands and just dancing around the wing, working together. It was basically just work. So didn't think much of it. I don't think he did either. No.
And now him and Dave.
I don't know why it's really on Glad Rap anymore. Like it's not really like if people think that's exactly how that fight would go down, that would not even happen like that. Like I'm pretty sure that first of all, anyway, whatever.
We'll move on. It's okay. Him and Dave though obviously you're close to Dave. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I think so. I was shocked when I heard that fight was happening. I was like pretty impressed. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's a great fight for New Zealand boxing. Like, bro, you basically got 2 ambassadors going at it. Like, what more? Dave is the most like fucking professional boxer, like literally professional, like outside and inside the ring, bro. And you got Mus, who's like fucking loved by everybody. Who doesn't like Mus? I love him. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah,
I think it's a great
beautiful guy.
Oh yeah, and he's got like a nice little family in there, and he's doing his best, bro. So like, I think that's a really cool fight, and I'm really.
With him and you, or you and him signed to Dean, you're probably going to be seeing him in a bit more in the new year. In 2021, you're probably on some of the same fight nights.
Maybe I don't know. We might see other the same card. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Like it's really boxing is such a weird sport. Nothing's set in stone, bro. So we might be on the same card. We might not be, but hopefully, because I like him. Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask too about that. On that night too, obviously Parker. Have you got an infliction to anyone? Do you know? Have your opinion on what way the fight might result in?
Parker came into our gym recently because I was sparring his little brother John.
You were. How'd that go? What does that mean?
I don't know. You tell me.
You had a bit of fun? No, he's got some hands, mate. He's got some power, John.
Parker, he was watching the sparring. So that's good fun.
Hey, John's way heavier than you.
Right, I'll fight him at cruiserweight. I'll say that. I'll fight him at cruiserweight any day of the week. I like John. I think he's a really nice guy, but if he needs an opponent, come December, and he wants me to fight at 91, we can do that. Straight up.
Well, flick a message out after this. No, but he's a good dude, right? Outside of, you guys probably had a good chat, but like you said, inside the ring, when you're sparring, it's all business.
I like John. He's a nice guy, and I don't really have much of a relationship with him. I don't really have much of a relationship with Joe, but I think Joe's a really nice guy. I hope Joe thinks I'm a nice guy, and I think John's a nice guy. And I think Junior's a nice guy as well. I know all of them. I met all of them. So, I'm not close with necessarily any of them, but I know them, and hopefully there's like a bit of a respect there when it comes to our fighting. So.
Now, we just had the Tasman Fighters Fight Night in Aussie. Now, I want to talk about the difference between Aussie and New Zealand. Jay Apataya just won the title. Justice Huni, heavyweight. You got Tim Zhu. Do you think there's quite a big difference between the level of quality between New Zealand boxers and Australian boxers?
Not, I think 2 or 3 years ago, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, yeah. Not necessarily now. Because, bro, you got some pretty good fucking fighters in New Zealand. And you know what I reckon a lot of that's to do with? Is if you look at the burst of MMA we've had, and like Adesanya in that, and Dan Hooker, and what's his name? Brad Riddell, is that his name?
Yep.
Brad Quick Riddell, and who's the other one? Kaikara France, and then Shane Young.
Shane Young.
Bro,
Yep.
they're like pioneering like fucking combat sports in New Zealand, right? Getting more exposure and more people into it and stuff. So, I think we're at a really healthy place with our combat sports, and I think we're just going to develop more and more and more, bro. Because when you have people like Joseph Parker and fucking Adesanya, you know, doing really well, bro, it just inspires people and inspires me and all that.
So are you saying too, you know, obviously some people are quite, sorry, it was just a bottle. Some people are quite purist in a sense. Do you watch the UFC? Do you watch King of the Ring?
I don't watch King of the Ring, no. I watch the UFC. Definitely watch the UFC. I'll bet on the UFC.
So you saw the last one?
Huh?
So you saw the last one with all the Kiwis when they were in Fight Island?
Yeah, I thought fucking Adesanya was the man in that fight. That was crack up. Really, like, proved the point, so it was cool. Definitely.
So have you almost finished that packet of rice crackers? What's the dietitian going to say? Is he going to be a bit mad if you're eating all these, or is it okay? It's a cheat day. It's all right.
Oh, bro, look, to be honest, bro, like, I've done a really hard training today, okay? And I've only had my half cup of porridge and my chicken and rice today. I'm allowed to have a small snack because I know, you know, I know I actually know how much is in there. It's 100 grams, and I know it'll take a little bit longer to digest because it's quite processed. So I'll just be careful with the rest of my diet. But, bro, like, to be honest, like, it's all good following your diet all the time, fucking rah. But, bro, like, you got to give me a fucking break every now and then, bro. Like, you know, like, how do you think I feel when my family's all eating chocolate or whatever, Sunday cake or whatever, or they're going Macca's or whatever? How do you think I feel? I have to sit there and just eat my steak and avocado. But it is what it is, bro. I'm going to treat myself every now and then. And I can do it also because I was 71.7 yesterday morning. Like, what, you know, 1.7 kilos in 2 weeks.
That's nothing, mate. That is nothing.
So I've really come down quite well with my weight. You know, I feel like I'm looking a little bit skinnier, but like, it's a part of it, man. It's a part of boxing.
That's probably what makes it a little bit easier on fight night. Now, obviously, you're going to be resting up tonight, chilling with the family. Is there anything you wanted to say we haven't covered today in this little interlude to the Renegade?
Oh, look, bro, like, not really, bro. I just hope everyone's having a good time and loving life and enjoying life, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you only have one life that we know of, right? Like, you can either go around thinking you're this or that, or you can actually be this and that. You know, there's a big difference between thinking you're the man and actually being the man. Like, I know in my heart, I'm a fucking boss. You know, I get up, I fucking go to work, I do my stuff, do my training. I'm a dad, and you know, I'm fairly down to earth when you catch me alone or whatever in my private time. But just like, be boss, man, and just back yourself. And I back myself, and I think it's really important to do that. And and I'm looking forward to my next fight. And it's a big moment for me, bro, being my first main event on Sky Sport. I've been on Sky Sport a number of times now, but to be the main event and have all eyes on me, bro, it's going to be pretty fun.
Have you got the ring entrance song sorted?
Probably, yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just fucking figure it out on the day. I don't really like.
Well, I know you've got the robe sorted.
Yeah, the robe and the shorts were gangster, bro. It cost me a lot.
Oh,
they cost me a lot of money, bro. It's fucking like, how am I gonna pay for my coffees this week? Bro. Yeah, well,
no, we appreciate you having you on. Friday the 13th, it goes down Sky Sport, and also at the Sky City as a main event. You've got Andrei the Renegade Mikhailovich against Marcus Headache Hayward. Title on the line?
100%, man. PBC like middleweight title. Yeah, man. We all.
Tune in to Sky. Hey, thanks so much for coming along today, Renegade. Loved having you on board and love our chats as always.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Freddie, the man. So, bro.